Right now, people in Mississippi trying to rebuild after those tornadoes ripped through that state.
Yeah, we saw so much devastation there, and you're seeing that drone video here. At least 22 people have died as a result of those tornadoes, and President Biden has now issued an emergency declaration that, of course, frees up funds to help rebuild homes and businesses. But recovery, it could take months, if not years. The town of Rolling Fork, Mississippi was one of the hardest hit. That's what you're seeing right now. It's also one of the poorest parts of the country, adding to the already tough recovery process ahead.
And as they do, the Red Cross of Illinois has already sent several volunteers to Mississippi to help with those recovery efforts.
And the organization says it's providing shelter, meals, emotional support, so many needs there. And joining us now is one of the volunteers headed to Mississippi today, Ruth Ann Richardson from Tinley Park. Good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning to you both. Thank you for having me.
Happy you're here. And I mean, you have just a few hours until you head out there. I think 1 p.m. is your departure. Talk about what happens in those first few hours when you arrive at the scene of these disasters. I know sometimes volunteers are spread out into different teams.
That's correct. I'm on the health services team, so I'll report to the headquarters and from there be assigned to what I'm going to do. And then right away, boots on the ground, start helping people, whatever we can do.
You were a nurse for 40 years, so our viewers have a little history of your skill sets and what you bring to the table here. How do those nursing skills help when you're called to a disaster of this size and scope? Does each one of these situations call on a different part of your experience, or when you're heading down, are you thinking about the same thing every time?
Oh, no. Every disaster is different, but they all bring devastation. So you think about what are the needs for that community? How can I help? And you try to provide that service to everyone. I think in the health profession, our team's made up of health professionals, and the Red Cross is made up of wonderful volunteers that we go in and we just try to help people. It's the mission. I mean, alleviating human suffering. So that's what we try to do.
It's amazing how sacrificial that service is that you guys go and do. In 2022, last year, you were recognized as a Red Cross hero for your work over the years. And last year alone, you volunteered 2,000 hours to the Red Cross. I'm sure this is also something that fills you up, fills your cup. Can you just talk about that?
It does. Thank you for asking that question. I think all of us look at how can we contribute in some small way to the world to make it better. And when there's a devastating disaster, you just look at what can I do as an individual with all these other people to help make it better for those who are affected. It makes our world better, doesn't it, if we all work together and try to help. So that's really, it's almost like a calling for me. I feel like I am so blessed in my life, and if I can help give back and I can help other people, then that's what I'm going to do.
You know, they say look for the helpers in life, and you are that. I mean, you have the hours to prove it. You have the mission of your convictions, and you have a tough assignment ahead of you. I mean, as Audrina said, you leave, as I understand, about 1 o'clock Chicago time. Physically, emotionally, what are the realities? How do you kind of prep yourself for what you're going to see when you get there? And I just would also ask you, as you answer that as well, for our viewers who are saying, boy, this is resonating with me, how do you kind of either encourage or discourage people from saying, yeah, this is something I should do too? Because it's not everybody's cup of tea, frankly, right?
I would say that's a true statement. It certainly is very rewarding for me. I know that I work with a team of people that are just as wonderful to work with as well as our clients. I mean, there's a lot of I receive back from seeing the smile on people's faces when you've helped them, or the hugs, or just the improvement that's happening when it's been so devastating. In terms of getting ready, I feel like I have an extremely supportive system here in my home life as well as in the Red Cross. So there's a big support system, which we all need to recognize and be appreciative of. I think that for those that are looking to help, the Red Cross could always use you, so please feel free to join. It's www.redcross.org, and there's instructions on how to join. And there's always something for someone to do in the Red Cross if they're looking to help.
Ruth Ann Richardson, we're so grateful for what you do, for what all the volunteers do. I mean, not only helping us here at home in times of disaster and fires, but to go so far as Mississippi to help those. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for what you do.
Thank you very much. You have a wonderful day.
You too.
Safe
Safe travels,
travels.
indeed.